Alright, so what's up, y'all? Again, it's The Real DJ Red, and guess what? It's my 2 Cent Tuesdays. Well, I'm just going to drop some knowledge on some information that I got. So, or past events or whatever, I'm just throwing my 2 cents in it. So as you can see, I got these passive boxes pulled out. I got one laid here sideways. There's another one up under it, upside down. And let me show you these other two. 1 and 2 here, so I got 4 of them. Had a problem with these boxes, and it goes back a while back to when I first started playing digital amps. Here's the problem. I started playing my first digital amp maybe about 2 or 3 years ago. It was okay, and I kept thinking that there was something wrong with one of the amps. Kind of found out the IEC cable. I changed it. In fact, I changed the IEC cable to all of the amps that I had then, which I did a video on that as well. I'll try to put the link in the description. And then I went back to some old QSE amps, the EX4000s. I liked the amps. They sounded good. Nice warm sound on the bass end, crisp, clean sound on the top end. The problem was that these amps were heavy. They were boat anchors. You're talking about 70-something pounds each, and having 2 of those in there, plus the weight of the rack or whatever, no, that's just too much. So I got rid of those, sold them to one of my YouTube subscribers. I don't remember his name right now, but he has a big sound system down in Jamaica. He flew up, came and got it, and I ended up going with the PV IPR2 7500s. After reading a lot of reviews on them, checking with other DJs that I know locally that have them, the amps seems to be a good amp. I've never played PV before. So this was a new step, a new direction that I was going in, but I like what I've read as far as the reviews, the specs and everything, as far as the power rating of the amp and the weight, which was a big issue and a big factor for me. Played it the first time, sounded okay. Within 15-20 minutes, amp shuts down, never came back on. Now I'm starting to feel skeptical about the amp. Got another IPR 7500. Just realizing that I played that amp 2 weeks ago as well, and had it at a low volume, maybe 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock position on that amp, not even halfway. And it was during cocktail hour, so the music wasn't loud or anything. And the amp went out again. So now I'm talking over with a couple of my guys, and they were like, well, check my wires. I don't mean to sound overconfident or anything, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't my wires. Right before I did put the amp in, I changed some of my Nutric plugs on there. Not only that, I've never used the same wires as far as the same setup twice. I have different wires, and it just wasn't the same setup as I did for that first event, Labor Day weekend. However, one of my other tech guys, Wasi, which is also a he repairs everything. He's like one of the only guys in Florida that is certified to repair power soft amplifiers. He was like, well, check the speakers and make sure that none of my speakers are blown or getting ready to blow. If they are reading below 6 ohms, then it's probably time for me to change them out. So that comes to the other video that I just put out last week with in reference to running series and parallel, and as far as bridging an amplifier. I started checking these speakers. When I plugged up the first box, it was reading 1.3 ohms. I was kind of puzzled at first. How is the box going to read that with 8 ohm speakers in there, and it's supposed to be reading somewhere close to 4 ohms? Couldn't figure out why. Went on ahead and pulled the speakers out. That's when I went on ahead and did that video. Noticed that, okay, yeah, it's a 4 ohm box, and I'm thinking that maybe it was just one box. So I went on ahead and wired that one in series. And just to show you guys something, let me show you the back of the box. Now I know you're looking at it sideways right now, but what we're looking at is this right here. Power handling, continuous power, 500 watts, program 1000 watts, peak 2000 watts, impedance 4 ohms. Okay, 4 ohms. Okay, so technically it's a 4 ohm box. But what happened was when I started going into the boxes and was checking the speakers, when I was doing a video for series versus parallel versus bridging, found out that there were 4 ohms. I went into another box. That one was 4 ohms. Went into this one. That one was 4 ohms, and the other one was 4 ohms. As far as the speakers, they were all 4 ohm speakers, not the box itself. Each reading that I was getting was 2 ohms average, maybe like 1.3, 1.7 ohms or whatever, meaning that these were 4 ohm speakers in there. None of these boxes have 8 ohm speakers on there. So with that being said, this was false advertisement on their part as far as Alto. This SX215 series running 4 ohm speakers in there, not 8 ohm speakers in there. So I don't know how you guys were advertising it as a 4 ohm box. These boxes were 2 ohm boxes, which had the amp playing down at just below 1 ohm, and that's why the amp blew. That's why the Behringer iNotes wouldn't keep up with them, because they were 4 ohm amplifiers, the 6000s that I was running them on, and that goes on and on from there. This has caused a whole lot of problems that I should say. It has cost me money on several levels, not just from amplifiers, but I had to bring in someone else to finish out an event for me Labor Day weekend because of this here. Alto, you need to put stuff on there and put what the speakers are and not put these fake readings on there. I thought Alto was a good company, but this here, nah. You get a big thumbs down for this one. And guess what? This is just my 2 cents.